Week 1 of the NFL preseason is in the books, and if this weekend was any indication, we might be in for one of the wildest rookie quarterback classes in years. Somehow, almost all of them came out swinging. Shedeur Sanders looked NFL ready from snap 1, Jaxson Dart silenced critics, Cam Ward stayed calm and surgical, and even Tyler Shough shook off a pick 6 to shine. And with the regular season just weeks away, the energy is cranking up fast. Let's run through every preseason game from this weekend, all the big plays, surprises, and storylines you need to know. Alright, first, Colts versus Ravens. The obvious talking point is Anthony Richardson. Richardson is heading into year 3 and still playing like a rookie. He dislocated his throwing hand pinky on a clean sack from basic pressure, something he absolutely needs to read before the snap by now. Thankfully, he's already back practicing, but let's hope he has to know how to read a defense better. He is far behind where he should be for a third-year quarterback. Then came Daniel Jones, who went 10 for 21 for 144 yards with 0 touchdowns. A solid driver too, but for facing second and third stringers, there's no evidence that says he's turned the corner from his struggles in the past. Meanwhile, Riley Leonard, the rookie, got some second half work and showed flashes. 92 passing yards and a 21-yard rush. Not earth-shattering, but enough to make you wonder if he's the future in this mediocre quarterback room. On the Ravens side, they made noise quietly. Keaton Mitchell ripped off a 22-yard run and finished with 68 yards on the ground. It looks like the Ravens will have a very threatening running game with Derrick Henry, Keaton Mitchell, and Lamar Jackson all in the backfield. But the real explosion came from LaJohntay Wester, who returned a punt 87 yards for a TD, and that flipped the entire energy of the game. Bottom line, Colts' quarterback room is still a question mark, while Ravens' special teams and run game are already showing up. That's about what's expected from these two. Next game, Bengals versus Eagles. The Bengals let their starters play a few drives, and boy did Joe Burrow and Ja'Marr Chase deliver. Burrow went 9 for 10 for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns in just a quarter's work, while Chase hauled in 4 catches for 77 yards and a score. They looked like midseason versions of themselves, not rusty at all. Then Tanner McKee stole the show. The 6th-round backup torched Cincinnati's starters, going 20 of 25 for 252 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, plus a tush-push rushing score. His favorite target, Darius Cooper, 6 catches, 82 yards, and a touchdown. The Eagles rolled up 432 yards total and took control. From starters to depth, Philly looked dialed in. Overall, if this preseason debut is a sign of what's coming, Ja'Marr Chase might be on his way to locking up the WR1 crown in 2025. Next game, Raiders versus Seahawks. The Raiders opened their preseason with a 17-13 win over the Seahawks. And while wins don't count in August, the early impressions do. Las Vegas' defense grabbed the spotlight. Jamal Adams lined up at middle linebacker, not a major change from his days as a downhill, run-first safety. He looked comfortable commanding the front 7 and flying to the ball. On offense, Aiden O'Connell delivered a clean performance, going 7 for 9 for 82 yards, while rookie wide receiver Jermaine Burton flashed with a contested 32-yard sideline grab. Ashton Jeanty's debut wasn't pretty, 3 carries for -1 yards, but let's pump the brakes. He's still adjusting to NFL speed, and the Raiders see him as a long-term piece in their backfield. For Seattle, backup quarterback Sam Howell never found a rhythm behind shaky pass protection, but rookie corner Nehemiah Pritchett shined with a red zone interception, showing promise for the secondary. Bottom line, the Raiders looked sharper and more physical from their form last year, but the Seahawks left with many offensive questions to answer. Now, Browns versus Panthers. Let's get to it. Shedeur Sanders looked downright impressive in his NFL debut. He went 14 of 23 for 138 yards, tossed 2 sharp touchdowns, and even added 19 rushing yards. It was the kind of poised, confident performance that makes you think the Browns might have found something special, though the QB race isn't officially over yet. On the other sideline, Bryce Young looks like he might be carrying over that late season form from 2024. He showed crisp timing and accuracy, connecting with Jalen Coker, who made a strong case for more reps by hauling in a touchdown on just 1 drive. Defensively, rookies Nick Scourton and Princely Umanmielen gave Panthers fans plenty to get excited about. Scourton's relentless motor and Umanmielen's quick first step were on full display, hinting this duo might be enough to finally give Carolina a consistent pass rush. Overall, the main takeaway from this game is that Shedeur might make a lot of teams regret letting him fall all the way to the 5th round. Next game, Lions versus Falcons. Falcons' preseason opener turned into more of a training camp showcase. No starters, just a mix of backups and roster hopefuls fighting for jobs. Detroit gave extended looks to both quarterbacks, with Kyle Allen outshining Hendon Hooker. Allen led multiple scoring drives, while Hooker's night was marred by turnovers and missed reads, leading to an early exit. Defensively, the Lions' depth shined. Al-Quadin Muhammad and Nate Lynn notched sacks. Keith Cooper Jr. clogged rushing lanes, and Tyleik Williams was disruptive in the middle, but the game took a frightening turn when safety Maurice Norris Jr. collapsed after a play and was taken off in an ambulance. Thankfully, reports say he's stable, but it was a chilling moment. The abrupt, scary ending felt eerily similar to the Damar Hamlin situation, and it's another reminder the NFL needs to address player health and safety with urgency before we see another tragedy. Now, Commanders versus Patriots. The Commanders took a rough one in their preseason opener, getting steamrolled 48-18 by the Patriots, who came out firing from the very first snap. Jaden Daniels didn't exactly inspire confidence. His timing felt off, he missed a couple open reads, and the offense never really found a rhythm with him under center. It's way too early to sound the alarm, but you can't help but wonder if he might be in for a sophomore slump. New England wasted no time making their mark. Rookie returner Trevayon Henderson took the opening kickoff 100 yards to the house. Backup quarterback Drake May added a rushing score and flashed some arm talent, though ball security was an issue with a costly fumble. Washington's special teams were a disaster. Penalties, missed tackles, and a botched field goal attempt. Rookie corner Trey Amos and defensive tackle Johnny Newton were two of the few bright spots, both forcing turnovers that briefly swung momentum. Bottom line, the Commanders have plenty of preseason left, but if Daniels can't settle in quickly, this offense could be in for some early bumps. Next up, Giants versus Bills. The scoreboard might say 27-14 Buffalo, but in preseason terms, the Giants walked away as the real winners here. I'll admit it, I'm not a Jaxson Dart fan. I've been skeptical since draft day, but credit where it's due, he looked really good in this one. Dart showed poise in the pocket, made decisive reads, and dropped a couple of dimes into tight coverage. His ball placement on a 25-yard sideline shot to Malik Neighbors was elite, and he capped the drive with a smooth touchdown pass in the red zone. If this is the Dart we're getting, maybe the Giants know something the rest of us didn't. The defense also gave fans a reason to smile. Rookie pass rusher Abdul was disruptive all night, even against Pro Bowl tackle Deion Dawkins. He registered multiple pressures, blew up a screenplay, and forced Buffalo to adjust protections. That's not something you often see from a rookie in August. The Bills had their moments. Keon Coleman impressed again, and Ty Johnson popped a 30-yard run, but their backups looked outmatched in the trenches. Bottom line, if Dart keeps stacking performances like this, and Abdul continues to terrorize offensive lines, the Giants might have just found two major building blocks for 2025. Rolling into Texans versus Vikings, this one was all about evaluating young quarterbacks. Rookie J.J. McCarthy didn't post gaudy stats, but his pocket presence stood out. Calm under pressure, quick to reset, and accurate on the move. That's veteran-level poise from a first-year player. The Texans struggled offensively without their top weapons, failing to establish the run or sustain drives. Rookie linebacker Edgerrin Cooper was a bright spot on defense, flying sideline to sideline. Minnesota leaves the night encouraged by McCarthy's progress, while Houston heads back to the drawing board. Onto Steelers versus Jaguars, where Jacksonville fans were hoping to see Trevor Lawrence take a clear step forward, and instead got a performance that was fine, but far from jaw-dropping. He only missed one throw all night and stayed efficient, but there just wasn't much juice to the passing game. Solid, steady, but not exactly the spark the offense needs. The bigger storyline was rookie Travis Hunter's quiet debut. Splitting snaps at both receiver and corner, he never really got going, failing to make a big play on offense and giving up a short completion on defense. It's way too early to panic though. Hunter's skill set is rare, and he's adjusting to NFL speed. Pittsburgh's backups took advantage in the second half, leaning on a balanced rushing attack to grind down Jacksonville's reserves and seal the win. Jumping into Cowboys versus Rams Dallas came out flat and looked undisciplined. Penalties killed early drives, and the defense couldn't stop the Rams' rushing attack, which piled up 181 yards on the ground. Joe Milton struggled with accuracy before exiting early with elbow soreness, leaving more questions than answers at backup QB. On the flip side, the Rams got exactly what they wanted from their young offensive core. Stetson Bennett looked sharp running the offense, spreading the ball around and keeping the tempo high. Rookie RB Blake Corum ran with purpose, breaking tackles and keeping the chains moving. On defense, Los Angeles' young secondary held up well against Dallas' backups, with Tre'Vius Hodges-Tomlinson breaking up 2 key passes. Dallas had a few bright spots: Israel Mukawamu's one-handed interception and Maris Lufau's active play at linebacker, but overall, the Rams looked like the better coached and more disciplined team start to finish. Next up, Titans versus Bucs, and this one was a mixed bag with plenty to unpack. Rookie Cam Ward continues to impress. He went 5 of 8 for 67 yards, led a precision 11 play, 65-yard touchdown drive, and showed serious composure in just his second NFL game. That calmness under pressure might be exactly what Tennessee needs. His chemistry with Calvin Ridley has translated to game speed. If this keeps up, Ward could be a real bright spot in 2025. On the Tampa Bay side, Kyle Trask carried the offensive load. He completed 12 of 16 passes for 129 yards and helped orchestrate a dominant ground attack with 178 rushing yards. The Bucs were sharp with 3 second-half interceptions that sealed the deal on their 29-7 win. Rookie Emeka Egbika made his presence known early, hauling in a contested 21-yard catch that showcased his NFL potential. But here's the sting for Tennessee. RB Tyjae Spears exited with a high ankle sprain and will miss weeks, leaving the backfield thinner than expected. This one showed 2 promising QB futures. Ward's calm and accurate, Trask steady and efficient, while the injury to Spears may force the Titans into a hurry-up game plan. Switching gears to Jets versus Packers, this one was all about Justin Fields finally looking like he belongs. He went 6 of 9 for 58 yards, added a smooth 13-yard rushing touchdown, and ran the offense with the kind of composure Jets fans have been waiting for. His reads were quicker, his pocket movement cleaner, and he looked comfortable taking what the defense gave him. For Green Bay, Jordan Love got a brief cameo before Malik Willis took over, leaning on short throws and a steady run game to keep drives alive. The defenses traded stops in the red zone, but this wasn't a game about fireworks. It was about seeing Fields in a system that plays to his strengths, and for once, it feels like he might have found the right situation. Next, Chiefs versus Cardinals, and this one was spicy from the jump. Patrick Mahomes played under a minute, threw a 1-yard touchdown, then sat while Gardner Minshew and Bailey Zapp handled most of the snaps. Jalen Royals flashed on a couple of early targets, and rookie LT Josh Simmons looked steady in limited reps. Exactly what KC wanted from its first-round tackle. On the other side, Kyler Murray started and carved up a Chiefs defense that kept a good number of starters in for those opening drives. Arizona's plan was simple: let the first team get real work, then hand it to the reserves, and it paid off in a 20-17 win. KC's depth battle at QB got noisy. Zappe's turnovers didn't help, while Minshew strung together the cleaner series. If Simmons keeps stacking reps and Royals keeps earning trust, the Chiefs' rookie class will matter fast. Just don't ignore how sharp Kyler looked against live bullets. Next up, Broncos versus 49ers and Denver flexed their depth in a convincing 39 preseason opener. Jarrett Stidham was the star, tossing 2 TDs and taking over after a slow first quarter. San Francisco got some work from their young players, 2 sacks from rookies like Kalia Davis, and flashed defensive flashes, but couldn't hang with Denver's second half surge. Head coach Sean Payton admitted there are still things to clean up despite the win, hinting the performance was encouraging but not perfect. Let's talk Dolphins versus Bears. Chicago and Miami played to a 24-24 tie, but this one was all about the rookies. Luther Burden III made his presence felt early, hauling in 2 catches for 29 yards, including a critical 3rd down reception that ignited a scoring drive. Tight end Colston Loveland also flashed his potential, showing promise as a red zone target and reliable. Chain mover. Meanwhile, 3rd-year defensive end Austin Booker was a total menace, piling up 3 sacks and a forced fumble, an explosive performance that may have locked in his role. On Miami's side, the offense was slick in stretches, but Chicago's defense rose to the moment, once stopping Miami at the 1-yard line on a gutsy goal line stand. Both teams leaned heavily on backups, making this feel like a scrimmage that revealed more than the scoreboard suggests. With offense still a work in progress, the Bears' young pass catchers playmakers and emerging defenders gave fans plenty to cheer heading into the regular season, wrapping up with Saints versus Chargers. And yes, you read that right, Tyler Shough actually looked decent in his first NFL snaps. The rookie quarterback shook off a brutal early pick 6, settled into the pocket, and delivered some confident throws over the middle. When you add him to the list of promising young passers like Cam Ward, Jaxson Dart, and Shedeur Sanders, it's been a surprisingly strong preseason for first-year quarterbacks. For New Orleans, the defense came to play, swarming the backfield and forcing quick throws all night. The front seven kept the Chargers' run game in check, while Chris Olave reminded everyone why he's one of the smoothest route runners in the league. LA's backups had moments, but the inconsistency behind Justin Herbert was obvious. If Shough can build on this performance, the Chargers may have found a legitimate developmental quarterback without spending big draft capital. That's your full breakdown of week 1 of the NFL preseason. But now I want to hear from you. Which rookie quarterback impressed you the most? Was it Shedeur lighting it up, Dart proving people wrong, Cam Ward's poise, or Shough's bounce back? Drop your takes in the comments, and don't hold back. If you want more videos like this, recapping every preseason week and then every single week of the regular season once it kicks off, let me know. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single breakdown. The season's almost here. Let's ride.